And we are back for our top 8 debate. The finals for Dexterity games. We now have Crokinole versus Fuse, our number 1 and number 2 seed.
And as we explained in the last video, this is simply going to be going down to the breakdown.
Yep.
Replay value, ease of play, meaningful choice, game emergence, and art production. We are not going to argue it other than on those facts.
Yes, exactly. So there is one that I feel is immediately obvious, and that's ease of play.
Yeah, and, for me personally, that ease of play would go shockingly to Crokinole.
Yeah. Well, that's not shocking. I think that's pretty obvious, yeah.
Because all you're doing is flicking a disc.
You flick a disc.
The rest of it is just skills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and likelihood of getting out to the table, well, it practically is a table at that point.
Yeah, it's a table on its own.
Yeah.
Or a really nice art piece.
Yeah, but you can't overthink it. Like, you're aiming, yes, but you're not thinking, well, if I do this and then this, that's unrealistic.
So,
think of that.
Ease of play, I'm just going to write that down to Crokinole.
Yep.
So, do you want to go through the 1, 2, or just like straight through replay value and meaningful choice, or do you want to see if there's another one?
I think,
honestly,
I think immersion is Fuse.
I will give you immersion for Fuse.
Yeah.
And I will also give you replay value to Fuse.
Right.
Just because length of time, 10 minutes.
Right.
It does scale well. All you do for more players is you add more people to more cards to the deck, as well as minimum number of plays for full experience. There's 3 settings in Fuse. So you got an easy mode, you got a medium mode, and you got a hard mode. And it's basically just how many cards you're putting in the deck.
I think there's actually 4 levels. Like, there's an insane mode on top of it or something.
That's true.
Or a training mode. There might be 5 even. There's a lot. But either way.
Those are the last 2 that I can see.
Yeah. Now let's talk art and production. Because first off,
again,
art goes to Fuse because there's art.
Yeah.
Production goes to...
Pieces and components itself. The production goes to Crokinole. It's handmade. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Design, I have to give this to Crokinole just for the simple fact that the entire design is built for that game. Where Fuse, other than, say, the app, you can play the game without the app, but you can't play the game without that beautiful board.
Right. And then, like, I feel like the graphic design is necessary in Fuse because you have to know what dice you can put down, but there's still, like, you have a whole level of criteria that you have to explain. Look, this means this means this is used for this purpose, and where Crokinole, it's like, go there.
Yeah,
there's this.
Here are the pegs. Try to use the pegs to your advantage to bounce off of them and try to hit a piece, or use them to help you try to get another piece into the middle.
Yeah.
So for me, art and production goes to Crokinole just because of the design.
Okay. And which brings us down to meaningful choices. Now, this is interesting. And before we break it down totally, I remember fairly recently, maybe about 6 months ago, I watched a YouTube video of a finals tournament for Crokinole. And I don't know how it got on my feed, but it was just like, tournament for Crokinole. I was like, okay, I'm interested. And man, they did not look like they were having fun. Like they were so intense, and like they weren't unpleasant. But
you're watching a tournament,
right?
I'm sorry. I've seen Catan tournaments where people don't look like they're having fun.
I just remember it just like this. Like, you see the guys, they save it up, they flick it, and it was just unpleasant.
But again, you're arguing the fact that it's a tournament.
Oh no, I'm not bringing that up for the meaningful choice. It's just that stuck in my head. It's like. I love it when, like, I see chess tournaments and stuff and people are, like, stressing over the board. It's like, are you even having fun at this point? What's going on? Like, tone it down. But I love that.
To reiterate what Danny's trying to say here, our friend Ithri here has stated about Dexterity is that it's a genre that's good at going, this is not a serious game, don't get mad if you lose.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a detriment to Crokinole, because people will get mad if they lose, especially when you're in tournaments. But you got to also understand, when they're in tournaments, they're trying to win money.
Yeah, no.
But when it's you and me playing Crokinole, I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah, I just that's always cracked me up about, like, I get, like, heavy strategy games and people being stressed about it, but, like, like watching like that's like seeing somebody like angrily hit the paddle on Lupin Louie. It's like I'm gonna get you plane. Like I don't. It just blows my mind. I love it. All right. So with that being said, that little caveat that I wanted to just bring up because I thought it was amazing.
We're going back to meaningful choices.
Meaningful
right?
choices, impacting other, impacting long-term strategy and arbitrary choices.
So impacting other players, I will give to Fuse. Just because there's a lot going on because of the dice drafting mechanism of it. There's a lot, and for co-op, you do technically have to interact.
Yeah, and you have a lot of levels of interaction too. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like you have very strong choices you have to make the best situation, and not only like because it's the one player who pulls the dice that gets to choose where the dice go. If you make a mistake, that not only impacts the player, messes up their cards, that impacts the number of turns that you now have, and the amount of time that you had to think about it impacts your overall standing in the game. It's huge in that one.
And I'll give it that. For me, impact of long-term strategy, though, has to go to Crokinole. You have to be smart about making your shots.
Yeah.
You have to be smart of how you're trying to line yourself up, because even if you do make that roll where we talk about a lot, where you hit the other player's piece, you got to be smart where you make that piece lie.
Yeah.
Because you can force it where it's not going to get that points, the points that you want. Or you could put it too close to the hole where he could try to ricochet and get it into the hole and get his 20 points.
Right.
So you have to be careful about that. And that goes along for me as well for arbitrary choices I would give to Crokinole. Because of that same reason, you have to be smart about what you're doing. Because if you make a mistake, your opponent can jump on that.
Yeah.
And going back to my first argument against Fuse, there could be a mistake in the game that is not your fault. It's just because of the way that dice rolls.
Yeah.
The luck in it doesn't give you that kind of choice.
Right. But then that also boils down to the choice of, in Fuse, it's like, well, I can't use this green die. I'm going to have to re-roll it, and we're all going to have to lose either a green or whatever number
rolls, yeah.
Yeah, and then that, you have no control over the dice number. You do of the dice color, but not of the dice number. And, and that could hose you, and that's one of the detriments. That's what makes Fuse so great, but that's why
also
it ultimately loses.
Because it's something that you have no control over.
Yep.
Whereas every choice you make in Crokinole, it's your choice. If you make a mistake, it's because you made that mistake, not because the game made the mistake.
Yep, exactly. I couldn't agree more. And that means that meaningful choices goes to Crokinole, and that's a 2 to 3 odds. How did Crokinole and Fuse, how did they lay in our ranking?
So, interesting story here with our ranking. Crokinole, of course, hands down, was the favorite with 8 votes. Dexterity actually was one of our polls that did not get a lot of votes, and I guess people don't really vote on that kind of genre or feel for it. An interesting thing that also happened, our second highest vote was 4. Only 2 games got 4. Only one of those games was on our list, and that was Terra and Meeple City.
Wow, really?
The other one that got it was Meeple Circus.
Yeah. You know what that tells me? I love a circus theme in a game. I really do.
We're gonna have to try it.
I gotta buy this now. Meeple Circus just sounds like it's a good blast. I know nothing about it other than the theme.
The next 3 games that got votes on our list all got 1 singular vote each, and that was it. Everything else did not get a vote. Was Fuse with 1, Ice Cool with 1, and Lupin Louie with 1.
Yep.
Tokyo Highway was another one that got a vote that wasn't on our list. Catacomb or Tumbling Dice, Rhino Hero, and Animal Upon Animal did not get any votes.
Do you feel like there's the stigma? It's like, oh, this is just a children's game, whatever.
I think a big part of it is because of that, the tumbling or the children's game. For the same reason why I say Haba is the good go-to family game company, is another reason why hardcore gamers avoid Haba.
Yeah. Yep, I don't disagree with that, and that's why they've had less of an easy time breaking onto the family game market. Even though like Karuba has done well for them, like I played a game from them called Honga, and that was kind of their new release of last year, and it's a worker placement in a way game, and it's a family level game, and it's really neat. But I've heard like nobody talk about it because
and I think a big part of it too is Haba is one known for kids games, and for Euro style games, they're not really known for. Like when you're thinking about games coming from Europe, you're thinking those heavy Euro style games, a la like a Stefan Feld game or anything from Ravensburger in general or Alea. That's what people expect when they see Haba. It's like, oh, it's just a German kid game.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big part of why it's not getting any love.
Yeah, I don't disagree. All right, cool. Well, there you go. Congrats to Crokinole. Not only lasting for this many years, being one of all these games, and winning still the dexterity element. Wow, I mean, it's at this point it might as well be a sport. You know, they might as well have it up there with darts and billiards and
golf
and basketball.
There's actually more athletics in basketball than anything, even though I don't like it.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of athletics in basketball. It's an intense game.
It's an intense sport.
Yeah.
But it's my least favorite of the major sports here in America.
Yeah. Underwater, it's right under underwater basket weaving, competitive hacky sack, dance revolution.
So for me, and a lot of people are going to argue this point where I'm making fun of basketball, is I love baseball. Baseball is one of my favorite sports. As you can tell, I have a lot of baseball hats.
Yep, we're done here.
But I just think because there's a lot of strategy in baseball. That's the main reason. And I played it growing up.
Yeah.
For me, another one is football. I love American football. Not going to deny it. But my third favorite sport, not a lot of people will realize what my third favorite sport is. You know what it is because you see it all the time at my house. Probably the only time you watch it.
Yeah, arguing with the wife, right. I mean, sorry, what? Sorry.
And that's hockey. NHL hockey I really, really do enjoy.
Oh, that's right. I was going for the one that had more fist fights. No.
Yeah, no. You kidding? There's no fist fights with my wife. It's
yeah, she would destroy you.
Her favorite thing is to say is that my favorite saying is yes, dear.
Yes, dear. Yep. Mine is yes, ma'am.
And then, of course, basketball's down there. I prefer soccer over basketball.
Yeah. I have a saying now with my wife that it's so fast where it just goes, I'm right, or no, you're right, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, I love you. That's, and then done. and end all arguments. You're right, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, I love you. And we're done.
All right, let's go ahead and finish this video for everybody. Just to let you know, we are gonna pick our next topic debate. If you ever want to help make this discussion, you can join us on twitch.tv at Everyday Board Games, correct?
Yep.
That's when we make our decisions. But coming up Monday, we have
our board game breakdown with level 99 games, and E3 said that he will be joining us for part of it. So we'll be working around. It might be rescheduled depending on schedules because we'd like to have some special guests on that. So we will do whatever makes the most sense. This will be our first publisher that we do as a breakdown.
Board game breakdown, because we've done Designers and we've done the Spiel des Jahres. Those are the main ones that we've done. Mm-hmm. So if I remember correctly, we've done Phil Walker Harding, Prospero Hall, and Spiel des Jahres winners.
And Stefan Feld.
Oh, and Stefan Feld, and then we got the Kinderspiel.
Yep, and then...
so Wednesday, we're on 6-3, we're doing Chits and Giggles, and this is an interesting topic that I came up with and I thought was a really good idea. And that is unique themes that you would like to see more of. There could be one or two, maybe a little bit of games in it. However, there could be a few games, but you want to see this theme come out more.
Yeah.
Because people like you and me, we're getting tired of the fantasy games. Some zombie games I'm sick of. Cthulhu games... I could live with or without.
Yeah.
And so, I want to see themes with crazy
Wednesday
games with crazy themes. So, like Level 99, they're known for that anime style games, Millennium Blades and stuff like that. The one on Kickstarter right now, Bullet, has a bit of an anime feel to it, which is fine. Stop making zombie
Hashtag stop making zombie games.
Let me rephrase that. E3 puts hashtag stop making zombie games. I don't disagree. There's one that would make my honorable mentions, but I'm not going to do it because I'm seeing more and more games come out of this theme. and that is Westerns. That would be on my list. Those are the kind of things we're talking about. So look forward to that on Wednesday.
Okay.
And with that, you can find all these videos re-uploaded on YouTube at Everything Board Games 2020, as well as the audio versions of these on Podbean at Everything Board Games 2020.
And if you'd like to email us, it's everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com. And with that being said, I've been Daniel.
And Daniel.
And thank you for joining us on the Top 8 Debate and for Everyday Board Game Podcast.
Have a good one.